Hey there. It's good to have you back in the studio with me again. Well, as you can see, I've got my canvas turned horizontally today, so we're going to be doing a horizontal painting, of course. And I've got a very thin layer of titanium white painted over the surface of this, very thin. It's very important that you keep it thin when you do this, otherwise if it gets all thick and everything right at the get-go, I've got a little bit of a drip going. You know how this goes. Every time I put the paints on my palette, there's a little bit of a drip. These are very oily paints. I'm going to have to find something a little stiffer, don't you think? Yeah, I might have to go ahead and find something a little stiffer because these are getting very messy. Oh, these oily paints, they're killing me. Anyway, what I do is I combine a little bit of linseed oil with my white, and then I just brush it all over the surface very evenly, and then voila, it's ready to paint. I've got all my favorite colors today. As you can see, I've got my favorites: chrome yellow, vermilion, titanium white, ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, and phthalo green. And with just those, 5 colors plus white, we're going to paint some amazing things. And I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do. But first, of course, I have to wipe off the palette because ultramarine, he's a devil. He's a devil that just keeps on dripping that oil right down the palette. And chrome yellow is sneaky too. He's going to get the drop on me if I don't watch him. These colors are your friends, but they're real pranksters sometimes. So you got to watch out for them. Alright, let's get the 2-inch brush out today. And what I do with my 2-inch brush, what this is, it's a house painting brush. Just a common, everyday house painting brush, but it's made with natural hair bristles. It's really important to have a brush with natural hair bristles, at least for me, because I find that it doesn't cause as much streaking. You can use synthetic brushes, and I've used them before. I might even have one over here someplace, but I'm not going to get it out right now because you don't need to see that. You can do good work, but I really recommend getting the natural hairs because it works better. You can find it at any hardware store probably. And if you can't, use a synthetic brush. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Alright, let's go ahead and get ourselves a really blue sky today. I'm not going to use any of that phthalo green in the mix here. Let's just pull out that blue. And notice I'm just pulling the paint out. Pull the paint out. Yeah, we're really going to load that up today. Well, we load it up pretty much every time, don't we? And you better keep an eye on that chrome yellow down there. Chrome yellow is going to be playing some tricks on us in a second. So, actually, let me hold on to my brush. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy, let me find a rag here. I don't want to use all my paper towels. I'm going to use all my paper towels just on getting this yellow all cleaned up. Oh, chrome yellow, what are you doing to me? You're really slowing me down. Alright, let's go ahead and go up in here. What we do for clouds, we're only going to go like about a quarter of the way down the canvas today because we've got some wild things that are going on. We've got a kind of a sublime composition going on. When I say sublime, what I mean is we're going to have a subject that's real grand in scale. It's going to be really interesting to look at, I think. And you just make X strokes, kind of wiping your way down. You start at the top, of course, and work your way down. You want the color to be darker at the top than the color at the bottom, because it blends into the bottom. As it goes down, it gets more and more white. More and more white. If we just want to brush a little bit of color back up in there, we can go ahead and do that. Okay, we got that pretty good, I think. We don't need to do any more with that. That is just fine the way it is. Okay, that's about as far down as we want to go. So let's go ahead and set our 2-inch brush down. Okay, and then let's go in with a 1-inch brush now. And we're just going to go in with, let's go pull some of this titanium white down with my 1-inch brush. And the 1-inch brush is just a 1-inch version of that 2-inch brush. It's got natural hairs too. Nothing special about it. Pretty much the exact same brush, just a little smaller. It's a baby brother. Okay, so this sky is just going to be, it's going to be a little, it's not going to be really gloomy. It's just going to be, we're not going to, what am I doing? We're not going to paint this the same way. What you do with a 1-inch brush when you paint clouds is you kind of just rub it in. In fact, what you could do, I'm going to set this 1-inch brush down for a second and get out my fan brush. What you really could do, if you really want, you can get the fan brush out and wipe it through both sides. Okay, you get one side corner of the brush with a lot more paint on it. A lot more paint. Load it up. Load it up. You know, see how much paint I got on that fan brush right there? It's a lot of paint, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Boy, that is a lot of paint. And what you do is you just kind of wave it all around. That's really all there is to it. And when you need more paint, you go in there and you get some more. Okay? And that way, when we got some clouds that are kind of just, floating around, having a good old time, and you swirl these around, and you take them out and over, and they do things, and they have a little party over here, like, whoo, he's reaching out to shake someone's hand over there. Over up here, maybe you got some thick paint. Every time you want the white to be a little brighter on the cloud, you just load up the brush, and then you go again. It's real important while you're doing this to make sure that the paint is just kind of going all over the place here. Okay? So we got that little streak of paint right there, okay? And we got that little streak of paint. All right. And we got that little streak. Okay. And then we load the brush, and okay. It's gonna go all the way over here. There it goes. Boy, I wonder if we... No, I'm not gonna think bad thoughts. Thinking bad thoughts already? No, I ain't gonna think bad thoughts about any of this. This is good. This is good. We got this. Okay. Well, maybe we could go in here and just... There. That's just for my own satisfaction down here, because I want to get a little something back down at the bottom there. Okay, that's good. That's good. We don't want to do any more there. We don't want to do any more. Okay. Well, nah, we don't want to do any more. Let's just go ahead here, and then, well, we should wipe off some of that drip, because you see that chrome yellow? Chrome yellow, you're being a bad paint again. I keep warning you. I need to get another color on here. Gotta let them know who's boss. All right. So what we do with all the colors that we just put on there now, we're gonna go in with the very tip of this brush, the very corner, and we're kind of just gonna, find all the places where we got all these clouds and everything. We're just gonna mist them out a little bit. Mist them out on the bottom, okay? Mist them out at the bottom. Find the bottom, just mist it out. Anytime you see the bottom of a cloud, you're just going to mist that out, okay? Okay. I just want to get a little bit of paint off of that. And then you want to go in and imagine where the sun is coming from here. Imagine where the sun is coming from. I think the sun is coming from the upper right today, so when you floof it, floof the top of the cloud, okay? And then when you floof it like that, it makes it look like light is kind of just shining through. Light is kind of just bursting through those clouds, all right? And maybe if you want, we'll set that brush aside for right now. Maybe if you want, we'll just go through with this brush again. Maybe we could refine things like right here. And we could add a little bit more white down here. Okay. And maybe over here we'll add a little bit of white. Yeah, that one's gonna go over there, all right. Sometimes they just do. Sometimes they just do that. Sometimes they go places. It's one of these party situations where everyone's invited, but they probably shouldn't be going. All right, there we go. We'll just leave that right like it is, and we'll go back again, and let's give that little bead off right there, and we'll mist these out again, and go over inside. Yeah. No big deal. No big deal. Okay. Okay. And then we'll just floof it again. Whoop. Wrong direction. I gotta remember myself when I do this. I'm getting too excited about all the possibilities here. Okay. Now that we got that, we can just go straight across. Very lightly. Very lightly. Okay. You don't want to go heavy-handed on this. You want to keep it very light. Okay. Good. All right. Now let's go ahead and dry these brushes off, or clean these brushes off, rather. Okay. What I got is a 5-gallon bucket filled with odorless turpentine. I do not use real turpentine because it smells, well, a little pungent. It's not good for you to breathe that stuff in. Anyway, then after I rub it at the bottom on the grating, I beat it on the side, wipe off the excess on the edge, beat it off here. Okay. And then I get out the paper towels and give it a little bit of a wipe down. Just to dry it off. Alright. And now that brush is ready to paint again. And we'll repeat that for each of our brushes today. Let's give the fan brush a little service here. Okay. We got a lot of paint on that brush. Oh boy. Whew. Whew. Little hummingbird on that guy. Yeah, sometimes they do that when they're small. It's important to have fun with your paint. Be sure you have yourself a laugh. Enjoy yourself while you're doing this. Because this is the one place in the world where you're allowed to be free and do whatever you want. No one to tell you what to do. No one to give you any rules. This canvas is your keys to the kingdom. You can create, destroy, do whatever you want. Okay? Alright. Give that a little beat down and then wipe it off. Okay. Set that down. Alrighty. And then last brush here. This one's got a lot of blue on it. Well, we did use a lot of blue just now. In a while, we're going to use even more blue. Yeah. It's one of the best things about having a palette like this with so few colors is that it's real easy to make decisions. Real easy. Oh, you want a blue? Well, there's only one blue there, so you know what you got to do. Yeah. Real easy to make decisions when you got one blue to use. Couldn't be any easier than that. That's why I say, sometimes having only a few colors makes you a lot more creative than having a bunch of colors. Because it's real easy to make some choices then. Okay, let's go ahead and take our rag now. And I'm going to try to get paint on my fingers. Have I gotten paint on my fingers yet? Well, a little bit. You know, I paint all the time, so I tend to get paint on my fingers. It's just an occupational hazard. Alright, let's get out the big palette knife now. Let's just take a little bit of that. A little bit of that color that we already got there. And then kind of like that. Yeah, that's a good color right there. Take some more white. You know what I say, you always want to take a little bit more white than you think you need. Alright? So, yeah, I think that's pretty good right there. Got ourselves a hair. Where's that hair? Get over here. Come on. These hairs, they get everywhere. I just can't paint without getting hair on stuff. Again, occupational hazard. So what we do is we pull the paint up, cut across, and we got that roll of paint right there, right? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to go right here, and we're going to create a little something, just a little bit of a distant hill, or a range of hills, okay? Yeah, just like that. Just like that. That's good. Okay. And we'll go all the way over here, because why not? Why not? Alright. Alright. And make sure that when we create that, you know, you can make it, give it all kinds of little duders out there. You can give them all kinds of little things, but we just want to make this look like a kind of a hill range right over there. All right, and maybe on the other side we got kind of maybe we got some little things over here that we want to do, because I'm just adding a little bit of white to all that. Well, all right, so where's our light source coming from again? Well, as I told you, it's coming from the other side there, all right? So don't be afraid to get some of that light on there, all right? Now it's real distant, so you're not going to be able to see a lot, okay? In fact, what I might do here is get out, let me put that over there. Let me get out my round brush here. My round brush, and let's just, okay, yeah, and we'll just smooth that out a little bit, there, okay. That's what it's like out in the distance. You can barely see anything. Okay, yeah, what the heck? Give that guy a little hummingbird. Okay. So we got to think about some water right here. We're not going to have a lot of water today, but we're going to have a little bit, right? So right about in there, we're going to have some things going on with the water. I think we're going to have just a little bit of a alizarin crimson in this one. So let's go ahead and pull out some of that alizarin crimson. Got myself another hair. Collecting all kinds today. I'm going to be able to start my own museum of hairs that fell off during the show. Come on, get out of there. Come on. That's better. There it is. Sometimes you just gotta handle it. All right, we're golden. Now I want a lot more blue than alizarin crimson to this one, because that's important to me. Maybe I'll get a little bit of that phthalo in there. Okay. Maybe I'll get a little bit of that, and that really sparkled things up, didn't it? I might want to add just the lightest touch of alizarin crimson to that. That's the best thing about having these three colors, is that they can do all kinds of wild things. They can make really dark black-like colors, and then they can make some great turquoises, dark blues, really dark reds, maybe if you want. All that. Okay, let's go over here now. We're just gonna pull across. Okay. Pull across. There it goes. Okay. There. We'll go down here too. Now this is so far away, we're not really going to be able to see much of the lake, because this is out near the Great Lakes. This little picture here. We're not going to be able to see much of that at all. No, sir. Okay, I'll tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to get my big palette knife here, wipe some of that out, and I'm just going to cut across and get a little roll of that dark paint that we were using down in the water. I'm going to go across, well, you know what I might do. I'm going to get a little roll on the edge of my knife right here. And okay. Yeah. Right out there. There. I think that's a pretty good likeness right there. Or at least that's a pretty good way of getting it all in there. All right. Okay. Why don't we go ahead with our round brush. Just very lightly. Okay. That's good. All right, we just need to get that other detail in there. Let's go ahead and clean this guy off. All right. Give him a little hummingbird. Okay. I know I did it out of order there, but whatever. Let's go ahead now and let's think about our next little thing that we gotta do. Let's get out the small palette knife for this one. Let's go ahead and tell you what I want to do. I want to get some of that color again. I want to get some of that color again. This time I'm gonna. Okay. Now I'm gonna make a color that's just as dark. This one's going to have a little bit more of a turquoise feel to it. Maybe I'll add some more blue to it just to make it a little bit, bluer. This is still really far out in the distance, what I'm going to do right here. Okay, and we'll just add a little white for some body right there. Yeah, I think that's a good touch. That's a good touch right there. All right, so that's enough. We don't need to, like I say, pull it out and then cut across. And then right here, decide where the little water line for this one's going to be. Right about there. Okay. Now a lot of this is going to be covered up. So right there. Oop. There. Okay. Right in there. Let's go ahead and maybe we should clean off our palette knives. I'm going to wipe off what I got out of the palette there because, you want to save the paint whenever you can for your palette knives. You never know when you might want to reuse a mixture. So you want to try to salvage what you got until the very end of the painting. And if you don't use it at the very end, you can combine all your colors into a very nice neutral mix. So that way you don't waste a lot of paint when you're doing this. Now since I've used the paper towel roll so much to clean off my palette knives, I'm going to tear it off. And I'm going to clean my fingers because I just inadvertently got a lot of paint on my fingers. And that happens when you oil paint. Oh, it happens more than you think. Here, I got a little bit of a drip on my chrome yellow right there. Let's go ahead and fix that. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Crying tears. Is chrome yellow trying to tell me something? You telling me I'm a lousy painter? Is that why you're crying so much? Or are you just crying because you ain't used yet? Alright, let's get out the 1 inch for this one. Let's go ahead and just... I don't want to fool around with that too much. I don't want to fool around with that. Okay. We'll clean him off a little later. And make sure I got all my brushes set up here. Let's see. Which one do I want to use? I want to get out my little knife. We'll get a little bit of chrome yellow here along with... Ooh. Well, I guess I'm getting out some vermilion, but I gotta take this hair off my... one of those trials and tribulations right there. Oop, is that another hair? Oh my goodness. There's too many hairs. There's another one. Oh my god. Another hair. Goodness gracious. This just is not my day. Okay. So we got a little bit of vermilion. A little bit of chrome yellow right there. Let's go ahead and take some white right here. And you know what? I think we got ourselves a pretty decent color right here. Why don't we add a touch of blue? And then we'll be well on our way. Actually, I want to get a little bit more of the vermilion in there. Just a touch more of the vermilion. There. Now that we got a little bit more vermilion, I think our little mix here has been punched up slightly. Okay. You just want to pull it down, cut across, get that roll of paint, And right here, you're gonna get a highlight that shows off all the places where you think there's gonna be a little bit of land. Okay? Yeah, just graze it. Okay? Yeah, graze the painting. Okay. There you go. That's the way. And that way, when we do that, we'll know that that is a little closer. Wipe off the rest of that. You know, using the small side of your knife, you can go ahead and go in and get some more darks. Maybe you feel like you can put them back in there, just in case you feel like you messed up a little bit. Okay, just to liven it up a little bit. You don't want to lose all your darks. You want to keep the darks, a lot of them. You want to keep those darks intact. Okay. And you angle the knife any old way you want just to get this done. Maybe you want a little bit more knife action on one side. Maybe you want this to be a little darker. Yeah, go ahead. Maybe you feel like something needs to be a little higher, something like that. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Let me set my palette down. Let's go ahead and let's wipe that off. Yeah, I know. We're not going to stop quite yet, though. Okay, what we got to do here, what we got to do next, is we're going to take some of this mix that we made up, and we're going to create, we're going to take some of this chrome yellow here, well, a lot of that chrome yellow. We're going to need a lot of paint for this because it's going to cover, ooh, boy, it's going to cover up a lot of the painting. Oh dear. Yeah, well, you know what I say, always mix up a little bit more paint than you think you need. Alright? Alright. And I think I'm going to get some alizarin crimson for this one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's the way we're going to do it up in here. That's good stuff right there. Okay? And you know what I said about reusing stuff? We're going to get a little bit more of that blue in there. Because we want to tone things down a little bit. Okay? We're going to tone things down. We're going to make this kind of a brown reddish color. Alright. And get a little bit more of that alizarin in there. We want this to be a dark reddish brown color. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And we're in the money, I think. We got it made. Okay. Don't overmix. It's one of my greatest sins personally. I always tend to overmix, so I'm not going to do that here. But what I am going to do is I'm going to get out my 2-inch brush. I'm just going to run it through the paint. I mean, look how much paint I got on there. Whew. I probably could have mixed this on the brush, but I didn't. Alright, so now what we're going to do here, we're just going to kind of pretending that we know what we're doing. We're going to run this brush all the way down through here, and we're going to run it all the way down to this part of the painting right here, okay? There it goes. All the way down, and you know, you can just kind of form the land here as you're going. Now remember, this is going to be, a lot of this is going to be sand, and a lot of this is going to be covered up by more land and vegetation and stuff. You can go ahead and focus on just laying in that color, and maybe you're thinking about building some planes and stuff. Maybe you're thinking about all the ground that's going to be happening while you're painting it here. Maybe you're thinking about, yeah, maybe you're thinking about some ground over here. I don't know. Anyway, let's just go ahead and get all that land in there. Imagine while you're painting this in, imagine that some of this land is kind of just coming down this way. Maybe you got patches of land that are kind of coming down this way, and you got another patch of land that's coming down that way. I don't know. What we're really doing here is just getting this color in here. That's priority number one here. And I think we've done a pretty spectacular job of doing that, okay? Now we gotta, I think we gotta focus on cleaning some brushes here, because we got some mighty dirty brushes. Well, let's start with what we got in our hand. We're gonna need to get these brushes a little cleaner now. Okay, so we got that. Alright. Now since we've got, well, tell you what I'll do. Before I give that brush the wipe down, let's put down the palette so I can, okay, I didn't get any paint on the palette. Thank goodness. Whew. Whew. I'm hooting like an owl already. So what we're painting here today, maybe you can tell, maybe you can't, but what we're painting here is a little bit of a sand dune. And there are some sand dunes, some particularly big ones, in northern Michigan. They're some of the most underrated landscape you'll ever see. They're so big and enormous that there's actually a warning sign outside near one of the biggest ones that tells people that they're free to go down, but they don't recommend it, because if you get stuck down there, it's going to cost $85 to come retrieve you. Or it might have increased since then. Actually, people probably aren't going there right now because, well, in case you're watching this later, this was filmed in the middle of a pandemic, so a lot of people are not really going down to the beach right now. At least not around here. Okay, so we've got the brush or the knives cleaned off a little bit. Let's go ahead and get the palette and let's clean off the rest of our brushes. Because we gotta have some clean brushes to do all this stuff coming up next. Okay. Wipe that off and I'll get this to be down. Let it know who's boss. You gotta remind your tools who's boss every now and then, just to keep them in line. Because some of these tools, they get ornery. You got a mind of their own. The paints, the brushes, everything. So, you gotta be the boss. Okay. And let's show who's boss. That's right, I'm the boss. All clean and ready to go. And let's see. I don't think I wiped this one down yet. That's why I'm doing this one. We got any other brushes that need cleaning? No, I don't think we got any other brushes that need cleaning. I try to use as many brushes as I can before I do cleaning so we don't have to spend too much time on all these paintings now. Let's go ahead and get the big knife again. Let me close this up so we don't huff every time. That's no fun. Alright, get a little bit of white into this dark mixture that we made up. Okay? And yeah, what we're going to do now, I think, is I think we're kind of do what I was telling you about earlier. I'm going to get a little bit more yellow in this. I don't want this to be quite so neutral. There. Get a little bit more yellow. And a little bit more of the alizarin. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice color. That's nice. And we'll get some more white there. Now, you know what I tell you about making a color? You always want to make it brighter than you think it needs to be. So we'll add more white to that. Okay. In fact, I want to add some more yellow on there. Make it a bit more yellow. In fact, I'll go ahead and wipe that color off and put it off to the side. I'll add more yellow onto this end right here. Or not more yellow, but more white. So what I got going here is kind of a fleshy looking color, but I think it's going to look real nice once we get it up against what we're doing here. Okay, so this is not going to be wet sand, this is going to be dry sand. So let's pull this out and we'll cut across like we just did, and we'll go up in here, and right about at the edge or so we'll start letting the paint break. And you know, sometimes the paint gets a little thick for its own good, which is nice. But sometimes we want it to go a little bit farther. Oops, I got some on my hand. That was not the plan. Okay, let's just keep going here. All right, so there's going to be some dark areas, all right? And we're not gonna, I don't want to ruin what I do here, but we do want to, we're going to smooth this out a little bit. Okay? I don't want to ruin all my highlights. But I'm going to make this paint break, and I'm going to smooth it out a little bit. Okay? Because even though this is dry sand, it's still sand. And dry sand has kind of a silky sort of look to it. I don't know if silky is the best way to describe it, but it's got a very soft look to it. And it doesn't look like it doesn't look wet, is what I'm kind of trying to drive at here. It doesn't look wet. All right, so now we go down right about here. And let's go ahead right about here. All right. If you need to adjust all the colors that you're using, go right ahead. Sometimes I need to adjust what I'm doing to make all these colors work. And we're going to go all the way down to right about here, I think. Yeah, right about here. Really capture the size of this sand dune. My goodness, this sand dune is a big one. I was actually out on a platform when I went and saw this sand dune. I didn't go out on it because, well, I'm not a complete fool, just half one. So when I was on the platform, I was looking down there one, trying to climb up this thing, and boy, they all just look like insects, I'll tell you. They all look like insects, and it was kind of scary looking down. I was getting some serious vertigo looking at these people down in there trying to climb this thing. I thought I was going to fall off that platform, especially since it was real windy. It was actually really scary. That platform they got there doesn't feel like it's the most secure one. I think that platform might be old, and they might be underfunded over there at that Sleeping Bear Dune Park. That's where I went to go check all this out. Alright, so we got some fun stuff going on here now. Where do you think this is going to end? Well, I think it's going to start curving down inward right about there. Yeah. That way we got all this stuff here. Now there's going to be a whole bunch of trees and all that. Some plant life. You know, there's going to be some foliage up in here as it drops down. There's going to be little bits of intermittent foliage and all that. So that's going to be pretty cool. And we got another little patch of land down here. We got to get some more highlight in there. And that's going to be pretty much our last bit of highlight. So let's just go ahead and right about here. Okay. So we got that, and then we got this. Okay. Let's go ahead and measure it out a little bit. Where do we think it's going to go? It's going to go right to about there. Okay. I want to get my measurements about right when I do this. I want to shortchange all the highlights here, because there's going to be a lot of this middle tone color. This is kind of I won't say it's like the sunniest picture ever, but it's got its moments. Okay. There. Okay. notice how sand kind of has a little bit of a flesh tone kind of vibe about it? Because I've noticed that. And I think it looks neat. Okay, let's go up. Actually, let's go ahead and maybe, yeah. Maybe it goes up to about there. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. And we'll have a little bit more right in here. What I want to do is I want to capture both shades of the dune, like I think I have been here. There's another little, you can just connect this anywhere. The sand dune is always changing, so you just let the little patterns show wherever you feel like, Okay, so we got that. All right, let's wipe that down. Let me clean my hands off. Let me clean my knife off, because I don't want to lose my knife here. I want to keep this big knife because it gets a lot of work done fast. And that's really the goal of using the tools that we use on this. The big brush and the big palette knife, everything big like that. We want to try to finish this as fast as we can. We don't want to phone it in or anything, but we want to, move things along. Number one, you got other things in your life, and number two, well, I got other things in my life, so there is that. Okay, let's go ahead with that other color that we made up here. All right. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to take this and do more or less the same thing. Actually, you know what we could do? I'm going to go with my little brush and soften this out. And I'm not gonna ruin everything. I'm not gonna ruin everything. I know I say that. I promise I'm not gonna ruin everything. I'm just gonna smooth some of these things out, because Okay. There it goes. And okay. I just want to get that done before we go ahead with the other brush, or with the other color rather. Okay, we got that. So that little bit of sand is done. All right, let's continue. Sometimes I get ahead of myself when I'm doing these kinds of paintings. They're a lot of fun to do. They really are. Okay. So, like I say, we're going to go through. And you drag the color. Try to let the dune just take what it wants. Okay. All right. And we'll go down in here. There. All these areas where you see that base color in there. Let's go ahead and throw down that middle tone. Okay. There it goes. Who knows? We might have to mix up a little bit more of that color. If we do, you know what color we used. Don't destroy the color that you had. Just get some more of the colors that you used to make it. The chrome yellow and the alizarin. And then take some of that white. Okay. little bit more of the chrome yellow in there. And a little bit more of that color, the blue color. And keep adding white until you got about the same shade. Okay. There we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Just want to add a little bit more yellow. Okay, and a touch more crimson. Okay. And that way, we're just about there. A little bit more crimson on that. Some more white. Okay. I think I've almost got a color that's going to work here. I've almost got a color that works. We'll just take some more chrome yellow in there. And a touch more of the white. And does that match? It's close enough. So let's go ahead and take it. Hold out, cut across. There. And leave it marbled. You don't want to make this color totally perfect. Okay. And we'll just go down in all these little areas. And let the paint break. And because the colors are sort of close in value, I mean not totally close, it's going to look more like sand than it would if we had gone ahead and done a darker base color. Like say we done a completely brown color. Yeah, that would have looked a little... There, I'm just getting some spots that I missed before. If we had done a really dark base color, it would have looked a little bit, oh, I don't know that it would have looked quite right. It would have looked like we were painting rocks and stuff, I guess is what it would have looked like. But the way we're doing it now, I like that better. Okay, you just go down inside and every so often, like I say, let the paint break. Let the canvas take what it's going to. Let the canvas take what it will. Alright. Alright, I think we've got a canvas that's taken as much as it's going to. Alright, here, let's go ahead and here. I don't want to completely cover everything that I've done here. Alright. Okay. That's good. Let's go ahead and clean off our knife now. Let's rub the paint off so we don't lose any of it. Alright. And let's now think about what we're going to do next. Well, I think it might be a good time to, well, use the other lunch brush. That one's a little dirty. Okay. We'll just go down in here and smooth out some of this. There. With a very light touch, you do this. A light touch. It's important you use a light touch. Because if you go in there and you just smear the paint around, it's not going to work as well. We've got some things that we still have to add, so we want to, kind of smooth that paint out. All right. very lightly graze the paint. And here, you know, you do the same thing. Okay. There. So now we've got kind of a two-tone thing going on with our canvas. Let's clean off these brushes. I think we're going to need them. Okay. All right. So let's tear off this little piece of paper towel right there. Okay. That's good. And then we'll wipe that bad boy off. Now let's show this other brush who's boss. Yep, it's about that time. Yeah, I'm starting to get some vertigo just looking at this painting. Thinking about being up there on that platform, looking down at all these people who look like little specks in the ground. No bigger than the ants they look like. That's how big this dune is. It's truly impressive to look at. It's a little scary too. You know, someday maybe I'll go back there and see if I can go down the thing, but then I'll probably get myself stuck and have to pay, what, $100 to get out of there. Let's take the green, the crimson, and the blue here. All right, and I'm gonna get myself a pretty dark color. I'm gonna add a little bit more blue than, I think a little bit more blue than the phthalo green. I'm gonna put some crimson in there. All right, that's gonna be dark enough, I think. Okay, let's go right in here. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna bend the bristles up. Start right about here. Okay. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it. That's how we're gonna do it. You know, turn the bristles. Don't be afraid to turn them while you're shaping this foliage here, okay? That's part of what we do, okay? And don't be afraid to just tap the brush. Tap it. That's how we form all these little growths that are on the surface of the dune. As I say, get a lot more blue to the phthalo in there. Let's go over here and, oh yeah, we'll get one of those big guys in there that's kind of just really asserting himself, and you know, maybe there's another one right up there. Oh, you know, maybe there's one right there. Yeah. Why not? And then what else can we do? We can go down in here. Yeah, there's that one. That one there. Okay. What happens when the bristles turn up as you're just tapping this brush in there is the bristles bend up and they kind of just randomly place all the bristles with paint, just like this. You see how that creates a little thing there, and that creates another little thing. Yeah, you turn the brush every which way, you start to figure out pretty quickly, you know, what you can get. Like, you can get a little bit of that, maybe a little bit of spillover, but if you press it the other way, ooh, it's going to create something nice. And as we go down, maybe these things are toning down a little bit. Maybe they're not getting as pronounced as the ones up above. Maybe they're very lightly. We don't bend the brush completely, we just give it a very light touch. Just like that. Okay? It depends what you want. What do you want? There. Ooh. Ooh. There. Like that. That's the way. That is the way. Okay. And, you know, right up in here, you know what we can do. What can we do? Oh, I know what we can do. Ooh, what I want to do there? Well, I'll put one bush way back here. Okay. All right. There. And that way we've got that going on. Okay. So let's set that brush aside, and then we'll go in with, what do you think we want to go in with? I'm going to take some of that chrome yellow with a little bit of that blue there. And, yeah, I don't know. Take some crimson right here and get that in there. I really don't want to overdo this. Okay. Maybe we'll get some white in there. Okay. In fact, I might just make that a little bluer. Okay. Now, well, I don't think I've got quite enough paint on there. You know what I say? You remember what I say. Always get more paint than you think you're going to need. So, this is what I'm going to do. You see me running my brush through the yellow. I got that there. And I'm running my brush through the blue. I'm running it through the red, okay? And I've got that real olive color, but I don't want to have a real olive color when I'm going in. All right, I want it to be more of a green color. So that's why I'm getting the blue here. Then maybe we'll run through the white again to give it a little bit of flavor. Run through the yellow again. All right, that's probably about good. So let's go ahead here, and you know, like I say, light's coming from this way, so let's, just like that. Yep. And tap it. Remember that as you do this, you are representing all these little sides, all these little things that are happening. But you don't want to destroy all the darks. You run the brush through the paint and get a lot of paint on it, because look how much those bristles are bending. There's a lot of paint on them. That's why I tell you use a lot more than you think you're going to need. Because, you know, you're going to need it. Especially if you want to do a proper highlight here. Okay? There. Just like that. Just like that. And down in here, there's a little something right there. A little something right here too. Okay? Then right here, you know, got that little guy. Okay? And if you need to load up, go ahead. Go ahead. There. I don't want to ruin everything. I don't want to ruin everything. Maybe as you go down, the light's hitting it differently. Who knows? Maybe the light is hitting it differently. I don't know. I think that's a pretty good way of describing it right there. And let's go ahead and put a little something right there. A little something right there. Maybe a little something right there too, because you know how it is. We want to put a little bit more description in there. Okay. All right. So let's take a look around. Where else do you think there needs to be a little bit of a description of a bush? Okay. Maybe we can set this brush aside, our foliage brush 1 rather, and on this next one, this next piece of foliage, we'll take a look at this, and we'll decide what we want to do here. Because maybe if we're following this little bit of a lay of the land right here, we got this little thing right here. Okay, and we got this little thing right here. I'm just gonna, there. Okay, we got that little piece of foliage going right there. So that's pretty nice. We got some nice blue tones on that. Let's go in. This time we'll add a lot more yellow. Okay, we'll add a lot more yellow. I said a lot more yellow. And we'll go ahead and give it a little bit of highlight right there. Okay, and maybe it's got one that goes that way, and maybe it goes this way. Okay, That's how we do it, because the sun's coming from this way, right? Yeah. Yeah, just give it a little bit of something right there. Okay, that's good. That's all we really need to do for that one. Okay. Now, there's going to be some trees up in here, some scraggly looking trees. So let's go ahead and get some of that color in there. There. I want a real dark color. We're going to get a little bit more phthalo, maybe an even amount of phthalo and blue in there. Just a little bit of a crimson color too. Now let's take a round brush here. Let's get a little bit of vermilion. My tongue is getting tied here. Let's get a little bit of vermilion. Okay. And let's rub it right into this color that we were using earlier. And get a little bit of that orange or that chrome yellow on there. Okay. Okay. And we'll just tack on a little bit of white. Because I don't know. Feel like we might need it. A little bit more vermilion, a little bit more of that. A little bit more of that chrome yellow. Okay. So we got that color, right? And let's go into a couple of areas where I think we might need a little bit more color on there. Here. I got my own little rule here that I keep telling you. Always use more color than you think you're going to need. Okay? And we're going to add white into there. Okay. And we'll add some more vermilion. Some more chrome yellow. Okay. We want this to be real orangey. Okay. I know I keep searching for that color, and I think I got it. How's that look right next to that? Yeah, it looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. Okay, okay. So let's go right here, right here. Yeah. There's that color. I want to really liven it up. There. There's that color again. There. Yeah, this color is going to go down in there. Yeah, I like that color. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, these people are going to be walking up this little hill right here, and there's going to be this nice color in there. This nice orangey color that's kind of following, kind of leading them along the way. Like, come up here if you can. See if your footing is going to hold, because there's a big drop if you decide you're going to fall backward. You go rolling right down that hill like Humpty Dumpty. No joke. When I keep telling you guys that it's a long way down here, I ain't fooling around. It's a long way down. it really is. Hey. Yeah, that color looks real nice. I like that color a lot. Real grad. Boy, I cannot talk today, can I? No, I'm glad that we decided to mix that up. Okay. And maybe we'll mix up a little bit more of that. Maybe we'll get a little bit more of that chrome yellow right there and a little bit more of the vermilion. That vermilion is so strong, you have to be careful with it. Chrome yellow is not as strong as the vermilion. The vermilion has a way of really powering its way through things. It's not exactly a subtle color. How's that look right next to it? Yeah, it looks pretty close. It's close enough to cut the mustard at least. Yeah, this looks real nice. And how far do we think we want to go with this? Well, let's bring it right up to about yay high. Yeah. I'm kind of doing some Vincent Van Gogh type stuff right here, right now. Doing these little strokes like this. It's one way to do a painting. If you want to kind of just brush in some things, it's a pretty good way to do it. I don't know, I kind of like the post-impressionist style of painting where they would just, throw these colors down. And the brushwork would be real textured. It's really something to behold. Let's just get a little bit more of that color there. Yeah, I gotta be real careful with that vermilion. That vermilion is gonna power its way through this painting. Whew. And I'm really getting it on the brush there. Boy. It is so pretty to go out there and take a look at these sand dunes. If you ever get a chance, you really need to go see them for yourself. Because the way that I'm showing them to you right now, it's fun and all, but it just ain't the same. But that's true of anything. If you want to go see it, you really gotta go see it. Because I can show it to you all day long through paintings and stuff, but is it ever really the same? No. No, it's never really the same. Okay. Look at that. Yeah. And we're gonna go in here and what's going on here? Yeah, throwing some more of that orange down in there. Yeah. It's gonna be coming up in here. There. And we can just let that go now. Yeah. I'm just twisting the brush around, kind of giving it a little bit more flavor as I go. There. That's good stuff right there. Maybe down in here, over in here, there's going to be a little bit more of that. Maybe we'll add that for some separation, right? Yeah. Right along here is where there's going to be some interesting stuff happening. Yeah. Right along there. Hear that little pitter-patter of my brush? Yeah. Yeah, that's what it sounds like sometimes. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and clean this brush off. And let's go ahead and, we'll keep the other brushes dirty. Because those are our foliage brushes. We want to keep those, we don't want to clean until we have to. And I don't know if we're going to have to quite yet. There's a lot of paint on that brush. Boy. And we try to get all those fancy colors just right. Sometimes you get more paint on your brush than you bargain for. Little hummingbird. Yeah, I showed us who's boss, alright. Alright. There it goes. It's ready to paint again. Ready to paint. Alright. Oh, what do we want to do? Okay, I know what I want to do. I keep forgetting I gotta paint these trees right here. So let's get out the foliage brush, of course. And I'm tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna, okay, and maybe I got something there, and maybe it comes all the way down here. Okay, and we got, this is the one way to do it. You can paint your tree from the top all the way up, or all the way up, all the way down, or you can paint it from the bottom all the way up. Now, if you do it from the bottom all the way up, it's going to have a better chance of looking a little bit more natural, because as it goes toward the sky, it gets a little darker. All right, and then you just twist your brush around, just like that. And you create all the little things that you get when you paint like that. Okay, and maybe there's a little bit of a tree right next to it. Okay, and there's going to be another tree right next door. He's got a friend. Well, he ain't ever going to be lonely. Not out here. You know what these trees do? They just sit out there all day long, looking at all these people going up the sand dune and falling, rolling back, losing themselves. Okay, so there's going to be a little bit of something, going on over here. All right, and we can twist this around there. These trees are kind of all shaken up and everything because, they're out on the sand dune. There's lots of wind coming up and blowing them all day long and all that stuff. And okay, these guys right here, we'll just tap these in. And, since we got the little hill going down that way, we'll make sure that it follows the lay of the land. Okay, got that right there. let's go ahead and get, this guy right here. He's going to have a little bit more character on him right there. Yep. There he is. There he is. There he is. All right. All right. Now, here's what I want to do next. I want to set that brush aside. I'm going to take my liner brush. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead with my round brush. I think what I want to do on this one is I want to take a little bit of that alizarin, a little bit of that chrome yellow with all that green in it. Okay, I'm going to take some. That's a little bit too much. You know what might help next time I do this is I might start with violet. Okay, we got a little bit of I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that's definitely pretty good. All right, what we could do is with that color, once we got it, we'll go through the other side here. And we got a two-tone approach over here on this brush. Now, I don't know if this is going to work necessarily, but we're certainly going to give it a try. So what we can do is go right here. Ooh, that's getting a little bit more of the... I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, we'll just set that aside here. Here's what we can do. We can take... I'm going to get the little knife for this. We can take the little palette knife. Just go up in here all the way to the top and insert that tree trunk. And we'll go to the other side here and get this other guy right here. You're not going to see the whole thing. You're just going to see a little bit of him. A little bit. Just to give it some character, because we're going to cover up in, leaves and stuff pretty soon. There we go. I like that better than that two-tone approach. That two-tone approach is kind of hacky. But I thought I'd give the old college try. Never say that everything works when you do it like this. Sometimes you fail. It's okay to fail. All right. Now let's take. Give it a little hummingbird. Ooh, that's a little dirty still. Because we got a lot of paint on there. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Boy. I thought I was going to show this thing who's boss. Well, today it's showing me. It's showing me who's boss. That's. Whoops. Did I get any paint on myself? Nope. Well, almost did show me who's boss for a second there. Whew. 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 All right. Enough of that. Let's take that color. And we'll just go in from the side here. Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay. Perfect. This round brush is without a doubt an invaluable tool. And don't let anyone tell you differently. It's one of the most valuable brushes you can have. Whew. Just look how easily I'm able to solve problems with it. I gotta hand it to it. That was a problem that was solved very quickly and easily. All right, let's go ahead and get some more chrome yellow on this and go up in here. I'm gonna get a very light amount of phthalo in there because I kind of want that one to stand out, Yeah. Make it just a touch brighter than I think it needs to be. Okay. And we'll add just a little bit of white to that. Okay. That's good. All right, let's go in here and we'll bend this brush. Okay. And we'll go down in here and there it goes. Now, okay. And over here. That's how we do it. Down here I think. We'll get a little bit more right there. And a little bit right there. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah. You know, maybe right there we'll get something. And over here we'll get that and that. And right about there. Okay. That's pretty good, I think. Yeah, maybe we'll just do something right there. Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, just little touch-ups here and there. Okay. We're going to leave that, I think. Yeah, maybe I'll just get a little bit more green over here and do this one. Okay. I'm doing some work right there. And okay. That's better. Alright, we got some foliage going. That's pretty neat. Okay. Okay. Whew. Well, what do you say we go ahead and clean that other brush off too? Show who's boss. Show them both who's boss. Whew. I know I keep saying that. Alright. Let's get our round brush again because I feel a little moment of inspiration here. We're going to take that light color, I think. And I know what we're going to do. I know what we're going to do. We're going to make a little lighter right here. Okay. I don't want to make that light, do I? No. Okay. Yeah, there's what we're going to do. We really want this to stand out, right? Right. So sometimes you gotta take some artistic license with this. Alright. Okay. There it goes. Right in there. Okay. Right about in here. Okay. And we'll go down in here. Okay. And maybe if we really want to. There. That's cool. Maybe if we really want to, we just wipe some of this paint off. Okay, let me pick that up. It's easier to wipe the paint off when you're actually holding it. Less so when you're just fooling around with it. Okay. Okay, there's the color right there. Alright. We'll just take a little bit more chrome yellow in there. And some vermilion. Add a little bit of white to that. Just a light touch. Light touch. How's that look? Yeah, it looks pretty close. So we'll go in with here. Add some more of that color that we were using for more of the more vibrant stuff on the other side. Okay. There it goes. There. Just a little bit more there. What do you say? Let's go over here. Yeah. Cool. And maybe I don't know. Maybe that needed a little bit more vermilion in it. Do you think? It's probably fine the way it is. I'm just being me. Getting a little too into it sometimes. There. Okay, let's clean off this brush. Hummingbird, just to show who's boss. And we'll wipe that off. Okay. Good deal. And now let's, what do we want to do here? I know. Let's take a little bit of that alizarin crimson, and then we'll take some blue. Okay. And we'll just add a little bit of white to it. Yeah. Get ourselves maybe a little bit more blue in there. Okay. And we'll get ourselves kind of a shadowy color. Shadowy violet type color. And we're going to mix in with that brown color so it doesn't stand out too much. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. And we're going to start making all these little shadows over here. Okay. Yeah. Because these little shadows kind of show up against these plants here. All right. There it goes. Oops. I'm getting ahead of myself here. What do you think? Over here? Yeah. Maybe over here is a little something else. Oops. Yeah. Just let it. What I'm doing is I'm just, doing the same thing. I'm brushing in some texture stuff. I'm not being super careful with anything. I'm not being super careful with anything here. This is just more of like a shadow side kind of thing on the bushes. Okay. Just to add a little bit of flavor to the painting. Okay. Maybe, I don't know. That's good. Over here, I think I might want to do a little something. Let's just take some of this right here and a little bit of the vermilion again. A little bit of the chrome yellow, a little bit of the vermilion. And again, you got to be light with the vermilion because it is very strong, this color. All right. So what I'm going to do here, just go in and tame some of that stuff right there. Tame that down. Okay. Just like that. Showed his boss. Whoops. Let's wipe it on the side there. Ooh, that's a lot of paint. Man. Sometimes a round brush will surprise you with how much paint it's got. Whew. These tools, man, these tools. All right. Okay. We got that. Let's go ahead and... Ooh. I know. Well, that was a little too much blue right there. Yeah, sometimes blue will surprise you. Let's go in here with a little bit more. A little bit more. There. Cool. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. All right. And we'll go under here. And we'll follow Follow the lay of the land. And the lay of the land just means, what direction is the ground going? I'm not going to do all these things this way. Shadows like this are going to go, this way. That's right. These are very subtle shadows. So what the purpose of this violet color is just to get these little things happening in the sand here. Little details that, might go unnoticed. Oops. Yeah, we'll just let that go. Okay. That's good. All right, we don't need to fool around with that anymore. Little hummingbird on that one. Now, we got to get some people in here, don't we? Yeah, we got to get some people in here because, well, just ain't a sand dune without people. You got to have all these little folks, trying to climb up this thing and being fools and going in, well, thinking they're going to climb up this thing when, well, that's the furthest thing that's from what is actually going to happen. So let's take some alizarin crimson, okay? And, well, instead of reaching for the yellow first, let's go ahead and reach for the blue first, all right? So we're going to create this kind of violet color, right? Let's get a little bit more alizarin crimson to the blue on this, all right? And the easiest way to create a brown color is to start with violet and add the yellow, all right? And if you need to make any adjustments, you can. But I think if you have enough alizarin crimson here, you're not going to have to do much because there's already going to be that red in there to help you neutralize that yellow. All right, so let's imagine where all these people are. Maybe we got one person who's like right in here, okay? Now these people are going to be so tiny, so it's going to be a little difficult to actually render them in a way that's going to have any detail to it. But we can try. We can try to put some people in here. Let's go ahead and put this fella right here. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to put some people up in there. Maybe there's some that are right here. Yeah, they're right there. Those people over there are hard to see, but they're there. Come on, we can get it. We can get it. I know there's not a lot of sounds to the liner brush, but hopefully just talking our way through this will be enough. Okay, those people are going up that path right there. But what about someone else who's like way down here? Yeah, maybe there's someone who's a little closer to us now. No one is terribly close, but this person might be closer. All right? The trick to painting people, or painting a lot of people on one piece, is, well, you gotta make them the same color, or at least that's the easiest way to do it. You can paint little details with different colors and stuff, but you want to paint them all generally the same flesh color. Like, if you're going to make them, one color, you got to make them all that color, and that's the way it's going to go fastest. But, if you're just doing this at your own leisure, you can, put all kinds of people in there. It can be all different colors. But it's easiest if you just pick a color and stick with it. And that way it's going to go fastest. And we got all these people over here. Maybe we got this guy. Maybe he's kind of hard to see what he's doing, but maybe he's just kind of taking a seat in the ground right there. Yeah, there he goes. And we got, You know, we got this fella right here. This fella right here. Well, there he is. They're hidden in there. They're in your brush. They're just waiting. They're just waiting to come out. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, none of these people are really close. They're all pretty far away. And maybe, well, you know, maybe they're a little bit bigger than this. Whew. Okay. I got a whole bunch of people just trying to get up this thing. God, their calves must be dying. Imagine, you know, one of these people having to stop for water and stuff as they're going along. Some of these people, you know, they'll be crawling on all fours, looking at the person in front of them, trying to keep up, and the person in front of them is going to be a little bit more athletic maybe, and you know, they're not going to be too happy about the person in front of them, leave them behind and all that, and they're going to be shouting at them, well, why don't you keep up? Well, I can't keep up. Maybe this guy down here, maybe he's with this group of 5 right here, and you know, he's trying to keep up and he can't. He's telling them, hold up, hold up. One of the secrets of painting people here is, you know, kind of just paint a dot to start with, and you paint like a triangle shape that goes down. And that's the easiest way to really paint someone. Maybe this guy is kind of just sitting there. He's had enough of this. He's had enough of this foolishness. He's just going to pay the $85 and wait. And there's going to be this guy right here, maybe. Yeah, he's right down there. He's trying. He's trying. Keyword trying. Okay. Let's clean that brush off. We gotta get this liner brush ready here. Because we're about to do some things. We're about to do some stuff. Little hummingbird. That was a real hummingbird right there. That was quiet. Did you hear that? I'm not sure you did. I barely heard it. If I can barely hear it, I can only imagine you. Right, but we still showed it who's boss, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Yeah, we sure did. Alright. Let's take a little bit more of that turpentine now. Get it into that color right here. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to add the chrome yellow and the vermilion to this. Yeah, that's the way. And we'll just take some more white. Roll it through the white. There it is. Rolling it through. Okay. There we go. That's a good white. We'll just get that one hair darker. Or not darker, but lighter. Because you know what I say. You know what I say. Always give it more than you think you need. Always give it more than you think you're going to need. Okay, with that, let's go in here. And let's just graze the sides of these people. And on the right side is going to be the side that gets a little highlight. These people over here are going to be real hard to see, but they're up there. But these guys, yeah, there they are. There they are. We'll just get them the best we can. There. They're all doing stuff. Who knows what they're doing? Maybe they're just hanging out. There. Just like that. Okay. We haven't put any clothes on them yet, so these guys are kind of naked, aren't they? Yeah, a little bit. That's still illegal, so you can't do that here. Okay. Here we got all those. Oops. I closed up my bucket. Yeah. Maybe that guy sitting on that side right there, because he got too lazy. Decided, you know, I had enough of this foolishness. I'm just gonna sit here and be naked out on the dune. And he figures he's probably got the perfect crime going right there because no one's really going to want to come for him. Alright, here's this fella right here. We'll put some shorts on him. Yeah, that's better. Get some shorts in you there, bud. And this person right here, maybe they're wearing... maybe they're just wearing a shirt. Yeah, they're just wearing a shirt. It's all good. Who knows what they're doing? This guy down here, you know, we'll have mercy on him. Put some pants on him. Maybe that's less mercy for him and more mercy for the rest of us. This guy here's got some red shorts on too. Ooh, man, red shorts are popular this time of year. What do you know? This guy's got some red shorts too. This is what I'm saying. Like, when you're painting a bunch of people like this, you don't want to make it like super complicated because, you know, it's going to be mind-boggling when you're trying to paint it. So you want to try to use the color that you got on your brush as much as you can, because, you know, maybe this guy's got a red shirt up here, and maybe, I don't know, maybe this guy's got himself a red shirt too. Alright? And, you know, who knows, maybe this person's got a speck of red up there, speck of red, or not. Those people were not even really going to be able to see all that much. They're just disappearing. Alright, so, you know, what color's next? Well, we got blue here. Why don't we use some blue? Okay. We got it made then. Okay, this guy's going to have a blue shirt. Yeah. Ain't that the truth? He's got a blue shirt. And, you know, maybe the other guy next to him has got a little bit of blue himself. I don't know. I'm just checking myself for paint. No, I haven't gotten paint on myself yet. Thank goodness. I'll give it time. I'll find a way. Because, oh, God knows that this paint has a will. I'm getting the paint so wet that it's getting a little soupy right now. It's getting a little soupy. So, I don't know. Like I say, you just wanna throw some things on people. Like, maybe there's a dark blue color that we can use to let people know they're there. Just a dark blue color like this. Maybe there's a darker color of suit that they're wearing, right? Heck, I don't know. I have no idea at all. We got that guy, and then this guy down here. Maybe he's got some blue pants on. Maybe this guy's got blue trunks too. Oh, look at that. All these people, who knows, maybe they decided to hit the beach while they were down there. Okay. Maybe they got that going on. Maybe some of these people just have, I don't know. Maybe this guy over here has a little bit of a yellow thing. Yeah, why not? Why not? Okay. We're just painting some things. Okay, what else can we use? Well, we could add a little bit of something right here to this guy. Maybe him and his friend there. They both got some dark stuff happening. Okay, those guys are painted. And, well, yeah, we'll just take a little bit more of that yellow, I think. Okay. I know a lot of my turquoise stuff is getting mixed up in there, but we'll go ahead with that. Okay. Yeah, we'll go in there. Maybe that guy's just got some green trunks. Here. Okay. That guy's sitting on the hill right there. He's got his green trunks on, or not his green trunks, he's got his red trunks. Hey, little hummingbird right there. Okay. I don't know. Let's just give him some blue trunks. Yeah, that's the way right there. When in doubt, give them blue trunks, because blue trunks, always in fashion. Always in fashion. Okay. Whoop. Yep. And we're not going to paint any facial expressions on them, because that's just going to be too much. That's just going to be too much. So we'll get a little bit of that violet color, I think. Maybe a touch of the yellow. Again, you want to start with the violet, then add the yellow, and that way you'll get a real dark brown color. You'll get a real burnt umber kind of dark color. And we'll go in here. Those, maybe the hairs like that. Okay. All right. Yeah. I'm just going to paint this color down the front of them. Kind of let us know where the light's hitting. So the light's coming from this way, right? It's coming from the right, the upper right. So that might be a nice touch to give them a little bit more depth. That's a real challenge when painting figures like this, is to give them that little bit more depth when you're painting them. Because what happens is they kind of tend to get lost in all this. And maybe you got a little bit of shadow happening off to the side here. Maybe, I don't know if there's necessarily going to be much shadow there, but maybe you got these guys here. And these guys got a little bit of something going down there, you know. So we can take that violet color, that shadow violet, and kind of just throw it down in there. And break it up, because it's sand. It's not going to be perfect. There. You can kind of just gently tap that in. All right. All right. So any other touches that we make right now are really at our discretion, because we got almost a finished painting right here. We've got all the little things happening. We've got all the little bushes. We've got the background stuff happening. We don't really need to do anything there with that, not in the background. So what we can do, I think, I'm going to check myself for some paint. And then I'm going to take this brush here, and let's see, how's that look? Well, let's take a little bit more of the white. Take a little bit more of the white in there. I mean, we got the white, we might as well use some of it. Okay? And I want to see how that looks. Okay? And let's just, ooh. Alright, so maybe I gotta add a lot more paint to that. What I was gonna do, maybe, is add a little bit more something down here. Yeah. Just add a little bit more texture. You can add all these brush strokes and stuff if you want. You don't have to, but I'm going to, because I feel like I'm obliged. Okay. There. There it goes. There. Okay. There it goes. Yeah, I just wanted to lighten up the side of this a little bit. Make it a little bit more interesting. That's the way it's going to go. Yeah. Give us a little bit more of a, an impressionist vibe, a Van Gogh feel. Doesn't that look cool? Yeah, I think that looks pretty sweet. Yeah. Yeah, we can go down here and play around with this. You can play around with this all day long until you get the sand just the way you want. Use your imagination when you're doing this. Okay. Yeah, maybe I want to go up in here and just maybe get a little bit more stuff happening up here, and then kind of break it up down here a little bit more. Yeah. Cool. Maybe I'll go in here. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that's the way. Okay. And with this, I think perhaps we have ourselves a finished painting. One that captures the scope of the sand dunes. So let's set this brush aside, of course, and get our odorless turpentine and a little bit of our vermilion. And we're going to sign our name right here. Now, obviously your name's not going to be my name, but I'm just going to sign it S.K. And there. Be sure you rinse it off. And give it a hummingbird. I'm going to rinse off all my brushes right now, even though we've got a finished painting. Because, well, it's always a good practice to do it. And plus the sound is very nice. We got to show these brushes who's boss before we head out one last time. Okay. Let's make sure that our knives are all cleaned up. Very good. That one appears good to go. Here, let me set this bad boy down. Set the palette down. Oh, I'm just trying to carry too much, you know. Okay. Okay. You got that. That's good. And what else do we gotta do? What else do we gotta do? Well, we got, I don't know about that one. Do any of our other brushes look dirty? Ooh, that one looks pretty dirty. The round brush, that's extremely dirty. We gotta clean that off. It is filthy. My goodness. And wipe it off. Alright. Let me just make sure that all these are pretty clean. That feels clean. Okay. That looks clean. That looks clean. And that looks clean. I think we've got some clean tools on our hands today. Ooh, ooh. I didn't get that one dirty, did I? I may have. Oops. I gotta be careful right there. Got a little bit of paint on the edge of my table here. There. That's better. Whew. That could have been really hairy. My goodness. That one's still got some paint in the bristles, or the ferrule. So let's go ahead with dip the fan brush in there. Okay. All right. Give that the little hummingbird, the treatment, and we'll wipe this one off. I think we got it all this time. Gotta be sure to get your brushes completely clean. They gotta be completely clean or else you're gonna be in trouble. Always be sure to clean them off. We didn't even use this one, but we still got a little dirty. Okay. That's better. Alright, we got that one. Okay. You know what? I'm seized by a little bit of inspiration here. So let's take the palette knife right about here, and let's just, you know, insert some sticks and stuff. Maybe we got something in there, and maybe we got, I don't know, maybe we got another one right here. Yeah, whatever. We're just going to scratch a couple things out right there, and maybe we got one right here. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So we'll just wipe that aside. We'll take a little bit, as I say, of the alizarin, a little bit of the ultramarine, and just a touch of the yellow. Okay, that is the quickest way to get ourselves that color. How do I want to do this, do you think? You think I should use a knife? No, I don't think I should. I don't think I should. Let's do this. Let's dip the liner brush in there, and we'll just do this. Okay. Yeah. Right in there. Ooh. Ooh, that's some interesting stuff, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. Now I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just throw some of this right here. Okay. Just like that. Yeah. Okay. And we'll be sure to give that a little bit of highlight in there too. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. Alright. Good. Just like that. I surprised you this time, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Oops. And then I surprised myself by not getting all the paint off the brush. Little hummingbird. Okay. Liner brush is good. Alright. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just take some of this. We'll take this. Oops. Did I just get a little bit of hair in my brush? I don't know. Yeah, we'll take some of that yellow right there. Mix it in with what we got up here. Get that chrome yellow. And, oh, I don't know. We'll just kind of tap it in there. That's good. There. There. And we won't use any dark color just because, well, we don't really need to. Okay, that's cool. And we'll leave it like that. Give it a little hummingbird, like we like. Show it who's boss. And clean that brush off. Oh, look at that. We used the fan brush again one last time, and was able to provide the finishing touch. Well. I know. Let's just go in here. Okay. There. Okay. That's good. All right. Now I'm just adding things for the heck of it. I can't help myself. Sometimes you get really into it and you just can't help it. But I'm going to stop now. This is one of those times where, you know, like I say, it takes two people to paint a painting. Paint. Paint, whatever. It takes two people to paint a painting. One to paint it, and one to say, stop. This is one of those cases where I gotta be the big man and say, stop. Do I have anything on myself? I don't think I do. I hope I don't. Well, if I do, well, ain't nothing I can do about it now. Anyway, I don't think I got any paint on my sleeve this time. Did I? No. Let's clean off the knife. Clean off the knife. Okay. Okay. Well, let's set that down. I think it's about time to wrap things up for today. My friend, I really want to thank you for joining me on this one. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed seeing something a little different. Something with a little bit more of a grandiose scale. The sand dunes here. I really enjoyed painting this one. It had a little bit more of a free brushstroke style vibe, and I really do appreciate the opportunity to paint that one. I hope that if you try it, you have a lot of fun with it. And who knows, maybe you'll be able to paint a little better than I could. Like I say, I only have a short time with you today, and well, I have to do what I can to move things along, so sometimes I take some shortcuts. But you don't have to. You have as much time as you want to paint as many things as you want. So feel free to. You don't have to rush through it. Anyway, again, thank you for joining me. And until next time, with love from me to you, bye-bye.